Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Treaty LPC, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Self-Aware and Effed Up podcast. I have a special guest with me this week, and we are going to be talking about a journey towards healing and just being able to recover. I have a survivor, I have a coach, personal trainer. She does it all. Her name is Iisha Taylor, and she is the owner and operator of Tay'lored Training, LLC, and she is a survivor of things in her past. She's a stroke survivor, and she helps other individuals overcome their physical limitations. So we're going to dive into talking about her journey and also being able to explore how you can begin the path towards healing in your own personal life. So without further ado, please welcome to the Self-Aware and Effed Up podcast, Miss Iisha Taylor. Hey, Iisha, how's it going today?
It's going good. It's going great. Another blessed day.
Another blessed day. Really, really grateful to have you and glad you were able to accommodate me in your schedule today. I know it's busy, but I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat. So we just want to go ahead and get started by telling the audience a little bit about yourself and, kind of what set you on your current path towards being a personal trainer. And
all right. Yeah. So what guided me into personal training was actually sports. Mm-hmm. So I had a stroke when I was 3.
Oh wow.
At that time, at that age, is really pretty much learning my movement, learning my body, my development. Mm-hmm. And it was actually kind of slowed down because like going to different rehab sessions and going to various doctor's appointments and things like that. I feel like it put me behind the curve of a lot of my other peers. So I actually got into playing basketball at a young age because my doctor was like, I was putting on a lot of weight. So I was about 160 pounds in elementary school, like the 5th grade. Okay. And I was supposed to try out for my middle school team, but I never did because I had to have my second Achilles lengthening surgery. So, Kobe Bryant, he tore his, but they cut mine on purpose to make my my leg longer as I grew. I don't know how it tore when I had my stroke at first. So I have no recollection of a lot of that. I love playing basketball with my brother and his friends, and my doctor kind of recommended that I get involved with that because I already liked it. And she also was like, I don't know too many good basketball players who dribble with just one hand. Mm-hmm. So that sparked me to like try and really work and develop on my right hand so that I could potentially dribble a basketball with both hands. Not there completely, still have some fine motor skill development that I need to do. But it did get to a point where I could do 2 dribbles back to back. So that's pretty much how I got in. That's the path that led me into training. Now my backstory. So it's like basketball, went to play high school, play for Special Olympics. Mm-hmm. Then I played for my high school team for a little bit. I started my sophomore year to my senior year, and I played both Special Olympics and for my high school team. And I was playing basketball 7 days a week, practicing 7 days. It was very taxing. So I ended up dropping Special Olympics my junior year, but my coach spoke with me. And she was like, you should go back and do it for your last year, for your senior year as well. Mm-hmm. So I went back and I ended up doing both for my senior year as well. Then I went to college, and that's when I realized that my playing days were over. So I ended up going to Berea College for physical education and health. Okay. And that's kind of where training sparked for me, helping the women's basketball team as a student coach, helping the player development. I started as a manager, washing all the nasty jerseys and all of that. But by my senior year, our head coach, he trusted me to do the strength and conditioning, to oversee the strength and conditioning program for the entire year. So our postseason, our preseason, in season, and postseason workouts. So that was on me, and that I didn't know that that's what I would be doing, because I pursued coaching after graduation. But then once I took a coaching job in Iowa with a JUCO team,
JUCO
I realized that,
What's the JUCO team?
Junior college.
Junior college. Okay, look, I don't know all the acronyms. You gotta keep me up to date. Okay, got it.
Junior college in Iowa. Spent a year with them, and I realized that I was already doing what I love to do, and it was actually the behind the scenes and actually helping players develop and people develop. So I ended up moving back to Louisville, and that's how I started my personal training journey. I worked for the YMCA for about 5 or 6 years. And then in 2020, just like a lot of people, the pandemic struck, and just 6 months into my full-time position, they had, since I was fairly new, my position kind of got cut first. And that's when I decided to go ahead and start my own personal training business, personal training services.
Okay.
So my aim is to actually assist all people that are willing to work. And it's just like, my slogan is everything is motivation. So, you got to get in your bag and find out what motivates you, what's really pushing you. So that's what I strive to help my clients do, because we're all really striving for a lot of the same goals, a lot of the same things. And in fitness, it's all about movement. It's just precise movement. I've been fighting for the ability to move without pain my entire life. Being able to move the way that is considered normal. Because I walk with a gait. So I walk with a pendulum swing. So my right side is what was affected during my stroke. So my right leg kind of swings out as I walk. And it's been a journey. So it's been a journey.
Yeah. I think it takes a lot of courage to kind of move through your journey, though. Like, you're talking about something that you've pretty much dealt with your entire life. You say 3 years old, your brain is nowhere near fully developed. Obviously, you're still, growing and starting to socialize with other kids. Like, what was it like kind of for you, basically kind of living with this physical limitation throughout your lifespan?
Oh man, the social aspect was very, very hard. I'm gonna let you ask the question, but that kind of falls in line with the social aspect. I really was not able to socialize. Another thing that I kind of dealt with growing up was the fact that I wasn't always around my own peers, because I was in and out of the hospital or doctor's offices and stuff like that. And then at one point in time, I was actually homeschooled for I think a entire school year. And then I came back to school, and realize and just seeing that you don't move the same as everybody else. And, I got poked fun of. I wasn't in any learning disability classes because I didn't have a learning disability. I had a physical disability.
Right.
So I was in the same classes with everybody else. Wasn't no like LD class or anything like that. I was with everybody else. You know, a lot of times you just be like, dang, why can't I, move like them? Or, you go to do certain stuff and it's like, oh, wait, I can't do that. Or, in a lot of instances, I felt like I was by myself a lot, because I would ask for help, but a lot of times it would be like, well, you got to figure it out on your own. So a lot of modifications and things of that nature, I pretty much had to figure out on my own. So one of the things so growing up, when it came time for me to learn how to drive, a lot of people didn't want to teach me how to drive because I drove with my left foot. And that was a modification that just naturally came for me. But for a lot of people, it was like, whoa, I feel like this is unsafe. But it was completely natural for me.
Yeah.
In like PE class or school or certain like art class or something like that, learning how to like manipulate my arm so that I wouldn't get like ink and stuff on my left arm. I had to figure out how to maneuver and stuff like that. Or like with basketball, my coaches, they didn't deal with anybody like that at the time, so they was like, when it went to like time for certain drills, they would be like, just do the best you can. And that's what I would do.
Gotcha.
Like the best I could. So it wasn't a lot of help at the time. And it was like, you felt like I was left on the sidelines a lot.
Yeah.
So
what decade did you grow up in?
I was born in the 90s.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I was born in 91. So early 90s, a lot of a lot of the technology was just kind of starting. Like a lot of the stuff that we have here in Louisville wasn't around when I was going through what I was going through. So
gotcha. Yeah, I was just thinking about accommodations and things of that nature. I have a friend who works in accommodations, for like, ADA related stuff or whatever with people's jobs and different things. And I mean, like, and even in the school system, there are certain ADA kind of things that have to be done. So kind of hearing you speak about the fact that there weren't really many accommodations made is really concerning considering, how it should be. So I know we were talking pre-show about, this experience that you had in the 4th grade that kind of helped, I guess you said you learned that you was fucked up. Like,
so the awareness piece, right?
The awareness piece, okay.
The awareness piece. So I didn't realize I was fucked up until later on, but the awareness piece. So in 4th grade is when I really became aware that I was not like everybody else. I was like, and it just hit me, I was in school and I couldn't really express myself. I didn't know how to express that, I was feeling these insecurities, about my body and about who, what I'm dealing with. So I was I think I was in the fourth grade because my brother's 5th grade class was like right across the hall. And the only way that I knew to express that I was feeling uncomfortable was to act out. So, that's when, I got stamped with this behavioral problem.
Okay.
But it was more of the awareness that, hey, you're not moving, you disabled, that's when I started like not liking myself. That's when, shame and fear to like really be me started to kind of seep in and hit me. And the only way that I knew to express myself was through anger. And because I saw that through acting out, my older brother and sister, they were kind of getting attention. This was like, I think my 4th grade year was the year that we all ended up getting suspended at the same time, the same day, literally.
Yeah, Y'all over there tearing them folks school up.
Yeah. Yeah, literally though. Like I was mentally, like the schoolwork was easy for me. I would be done with my schoolwork, and I would go and sit in our little library that we had in our classroom. And our teacher didn't like that, but I needed something else to stimulate me. So, she would tell me to do something, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then, she'd be like, "Well, you need to go to the principal's office, or I'm gonna call somebody to escort you out." And I'd be like, "Should I escort myself out?" So I would leave. Yeah,
so you
I
was
would
showing
leave.
out.
Oh,
You
yeah.
was over there acting rowdy. Okay.
Yeah. So I would leave out of the classroom, and I'll never forget this. So it was like toward the end of the day, and I literally had them folks all over the school looking for me. And like I knew the school like the back of my hand. So like I knew where to hide it in the stairwells. I stop and listen, and I gone the other way, the other direction. And then one day it just got so bad that I ended up leaving out of the school building. And I was like, I'm about to walk home. So yeah, and that was all because I started like that awareness piece of like, oh, do I really belong here? Like I'm different. I don't, something's off, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it was at that time where it was like the awareness of the differences, and then acting out, I don't know, just to have a voice, I guess.
Yeah, to be heard, because it was like again, it goes back to me asking for help and asking for these different things, and I wasn't getting them. So okay, well, if I can't get that, then I'm gonna try to get this.
Yeah.
So
gotcha. So what was your healing journey like, moving from that place of not really loving or liking yourself because of some of those differences, to being able to come to a place of wholeness and healing?
Man, a lot. That really didn't start until I left like the toxic environment of home.
Okay.
So when I went off to college was the first time that I actually started to kind of be on a healing journey, because it was the first time I actually got to really deal with just myself. Because growing up, my last 2 years of high school was when I was 16 when I personally became aware of the fact that my mother was dealing with mental issues. So one day we had kind of got into a physical altercation. I don't even remember why, but she like I was just standing there, and we were arguing back and forth verbally, and then all of a sudden I just got chokeslammed. So
you said you got chokeslammed?
I got chokeslammed. Yeah. It was like,
Wow.
because I mean, she had already went through it with my older siblings. It's like, oh no, your little ass ain't about to, be one too, kind of thing. And I wasn't even trying to take it there. But I mean, I didn't retaliate or anything, but I ended up calling my sister, called the police and stuff like that. So I ended up leaving and staying with my aunts and stuff. And I was hopping pillow post to pillow post between the family for a while.
Wow.
So after dealing with all of that, when I went to college was the first time I was like, this is peaceful, a peace of mind. It's like starting over. Nobody knew me for real. I didn't know anybody. There's a lot of people from from Louisville that actually went to the school, but nobody knew me. So I got to kind of start over. And then Berea's in a like a rural area, so it's the foothills foothills of the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, okay.
Rolling hills. So beautiful scenery, a very artsy type of school. So I felt like I fit right in. It's literally like a second home to me. And I guess that's why I don't visit that often. But but it was literally like a second home at the time. And I like when I got there, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
A lot of people was like, Iisha, you don't never go home. And it's because I didn't want to. Because it was the first time I actually got to like deal with me.
Yeah.
So that was a journey. And fitness. Like everybody would ask me, Ish, where are you going? So at the time my dorm room was called Seabury. And then our athletic facility where our gym was called Seabury. And I would be going Seabury to Seabury. And then I would occasionally go to the library to do my studies, and then I would be in the cast. And that was it. But that was a time of my life where I kind of got to explore, because it was like a general studies kind of school as well. Where I got to explore different things that I actually like. I liked art at the time. Got to take art classes. Got into we had a Tech 101 class that I took. So we ended up building a boat in that class as like in groups. Yeah, like, and then sports and fitness was really my outlet that kind of started my journey. And that's what I've grown into now. Like my healing journey has really, like, it's when it started, but these last 2 or 3 years is where it's really started to kind of take off.
Gotcha.
So I do yoga every morning for the most part, unless I have like something come up to where I gotta leave out early, or do something early. Meditation, working out, put myself through different physical challenges, and that always tests the mental. Like I just complete, like last year was my first time doing a 5K. This year was the first year I was able to kind of walk it. And I did, I best my time, my first 5K time by 10 minutes. Yeah. And then I did the 75 hard challenge a year ago. You know, yeah, and this is like the most flexible I've been in a long time since I was like in grade school. So like we're doing yoga every morning. And then it's just being more mindful and being honest really about, how I feel with myself for because you like at the time when it was like real toxic for me, I'd be lying to myself, it'd be like, nah, I feel good, and I feel like shit. I'm like, I don't want to be here right now. I'm not feeling this at all. Why am I doing this? And I would still, still be doing it. And then like in college, I would go to, hang out with, a few people. And like, I know in the back of my head, I'm like, this ain't me. Why am I here? I knew alcohol wasn't for me. And I would do it anyway, just to be around social crowds, to not be left out of the mix. And like me, honestly, I never really cared to be in the social mixes before I came aware, even though I know they're needed. But like in that aspect of, me partaking in the alcohol and stuff like it, I'm like, it's not me. So like now I'm okay with, I'm starting to be okay with showing up as myself. And no lie, like 6 months ago, I was in the gym and I looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa, who is this? This look like a totally, who is this? Like, it was like me seeing myself for the first time. And this was 6 months ago.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's like, what? I'm like, what?
Gotcha. I love that. I absolutely love that because it's so, it's refreshing in very, I don't know, it's like an eye-opening moment when you get to that place where it's like, I see you. I really see
Yeah.
you. And it definitely is life-changing. So you went on that journey. You doing yoga, meditation, you do all of this stuff. Has therapy ever been a part of your journey?
Yeah, well, it was in college, and my grad school, grad school. It got so bad for me, like mentally, and I don't even remember why I ended up going. Like I think I went to my advisor's office, and we were talking, and I just had a moment of just breaking down. And
Yeah.
she was like, I think you need to go to our counseling office.
Mm.
And I did a few sessions there, and I was like, yeah, I got to, spill out, and, no judgment, no nothing, and
Mm.
really just, talk and be heard and be seen, um, and like not judged at all for, what I was going through and what I was experiencing. So it has. And I haven't found a counselor yet, but it is definitely something that will be in my future.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I was curious about that part of your journey because I mean, you have overcome a lot. You are definitely truly a survivor, and your story is very unique. In that you were able to overcome. I have an aunt who is she had a stroke with. She's had several strokes, but she was paralyzed before I was born, and she had a very strong hand in raising me. But you know, I saw her kind of, I guess, like give up on being able to kind of push herself past her limitations. Like when I was like early childhood, she had like her and my grandmother had a daycare and they took care of kids, but like I just saw her fade kind of into the background of life and not
Mm.
really live her life because of her physical limitations. And so when I see people who don't allow physical limitations to keep them from moving forward, like it's always refreshing and very admirable, just because of the way that I've seen it in my personal life. So um, your journey is amazing, but what I also love about your journey is the fact that you also help others. So can we talk a little bit about how you help others gain awareness of their limitations and how they can push themselves to overcome them?
Yeah. So I like my training is just interesting. So I do it with a smile always. And then, that my clients always comment on that. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh God, I don't know how to take that smile right now. You
Mm-hmm.
probably about to have me do something that's going to be crazy or something like that. But it's really meeting a person where they are. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like most training most trainers or training sessions that I've seen coming up or that I've been a part of, they always try to fit you in a structure, even in PT, right? They give you these exercises that isn't really tailored,
Mm-hmm.
plug, tailored to you, so it's not really tailored to you. So they're trying to fit you into a mold, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always work.
Right.
So I like to meet my clients where they are, um, and then we build from there, and we progress from there. And I try to be as slick as I can and slide the next challenge or the next level
Mm-hmm.
in there. And I'm always encouraging. I'm like, but I already know you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, you think I can? You
Mm.
really think I can? And I'm like, yeah, I put you on a lower level because, I just wanted you to get the movement down first. And they'd be
Mm.
like, for real? I was like, then they'd be like, well, let me try it. And
Mm.
then they try it and they realize they can do it. And it's like, I told you, I
Yes.
already do. So I try to slide it in, and I never try to force anybody into anything, because that's where I fell out with my PT, with my physical therapist when I was younger, when I was 10 years old. I had my right shoulder was rounded forward. My arm was bent in all the time. I kept it close to my chest. It never really extended out like it does now. And she was trying to stretch it out, but she was doing it very forcefully. And it was very uncomfortable to the point where I was bawling. Like, I'm like, no, this really hurts. This is very painful. You pushing me way, way past my limits too fast.
Right.
And, she didn't back off, and I never returned after that. I told my mom, I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
Yeah. I love the approach that you take, with it being tailored, obviously, but also just being mindful of just mindful that, people know where their limitations are. You can help them identify them, but, letting them be the lead in that and just being the motivator and pushing them, not too hard, but pushing them at least try, but not overwhelming them. So I'm sure that are helping a lot of people in what you do. And as I said, your story is definitely inspiring. So I just want to thank you for just taking time out of your day to spend some time exploring this and being so open and honest with me. How can people connect with you if they want to, just follow you, if they want to, book your services in terms of PT? Like, how can they reach you?
I'm on social media. Instagram is where I'm most active at Tay'lored Training. And when you see the strong arm, it's me.
I can't. Okay. Gotcha.
But but social media at Instagram at Tay'lored Training. My website has all my contact information. Tay'lored Training. That's Taylor with a D, and then Training LLC at gmail.com. I mean at LLC .com. Tayloredtraining.com. So the email, not the email, the website and Instagram are my two main things. I have Facebook as well, but it's more of a Facebook page. It is private, so you do have to request entry on that. Just trying to be mindful of people's privacy. And then, they can always email me, tayloredtraining@gmail.com. I'm more than welcome to respond to emails, and I do online training sessions as well.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I keep wanting to call you Taylor just because tailored is in everything.
Hey, it's okay. You can.
Okay. But Iisha, I really appreciate your time today. You guys, please make sure you follow and link up with Iisha. I will make sure that all her information is in the description of this episode. Also, be sure to follow me, Tree the LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Tree the LPC. Until next time, be safe, be well, and make sure that you take care of your mental health.